Hi guys, it's Travis, and today I'm going to bring you a brand new deck profile. I know it has been a long time, due to the weather, due to school, due to power outages, due to all kind of crazy class cancellations and changes and things. I have not been on top of my videos for the past week. I'm definitely going to be doing this deck profile, and I'm definitely going to try to do a vlog or a music video of some kind for Friday. And then next week, hopefully, I'll be back on track. But this is a deck that I did promise before that I was going to update during February for this format. It is Disaster Dragons, and it has changed almost entirely. The entire concept of the deck has changed. It's much more geared towards the current meta, much more geared to try to stay up to date with trends in the game. Unfortunately, Necros and Cleaforts and Burning Abyss, those decks are still really powerful, and Dragons have a really bad matchup with them. Dragons have a bad matchup with Burning Abyss, Dragons have a bad matchup with Necro, so you have to really try to change your playstyle and make it more geared towards speed, more geared towards give and take, more geared towards resolving effects on the opponent's turn, and that's what I've tried to implement in this deck a little bit. So please leave your feedback in the comment section. Leave a like, favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed the deck to let me know that you did enjoy it. And let's get started. So for the monster lineup, I'm still playing the Red MD. I don't feel like you can play Disaster Dragons without Red MD. I mean, he's still the boss monster. I'm still playing the 4 Dragon Rulers, one of each ruler, because that's all you're allowed to play. The Dragon Rulers create advantage on their own. All you have to do is resolve Dragon Shrine or Foolish Burial and get them in the graveyard. You can banish them out with Gold Sark to search out a card. You can banish each other to special summon your dragon and search out another dragon. They're just really good all the way around, and I feel like you have to play all 4 rulers. And they're really good with Red MD because you can special summon them. New card I'm testing out for Disaster Dragons is 3 copies of Tefnuit. Tefnuit is like Cyber Dragon. It comes out for free whenever it gets tributed for anything, whether it be a spell card, whether it be tributing for a Dragon Rule or whatever. You get to special summon a normal monster from your hand deck or graveyard. So the only normals I play in this deck are Flammable Guard, but that's still really good because at any given moment you can special summon a Dragon Ruler and get your Flammable Guard and go into a level 8 Synchro, which is really nice. So I'm testing Tefnuit for the fact that it's really easy to bring out. You can activate Wingbeat of Giant Dragon on this thing, and you can get your Flammable Guard. So 3 copies of Tefnuit. I'm also now playing this card, which the idea sort of comes from the Disaster Dragon deck guide and discussion forum. It's Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Hanzo is a decent card for this meta because Hanzo can get rid of one of your opponent's cards for you, and then you can have access to one of your Dragon Rulers, which thins your deck. It gets a big monster on the field. It does a lot of things. Or you can go into Tefnuit, so you can set up your Wingbeat play. You can go into your Drago if you just aren't drawing into it. So yes, Hanzo has a lot of different applications in the deck, and it's a nice beater. I mean, you get to search out your ninjutsu art automatically when you summon it, so it's not bad at all. And I'm going to test 3 Hanzo and 2 Super Transformation for right now. For the Disaster Dragon core, which has changed a little bit over the past few formats, I feel. I'm no longer playing Exploder Dragon, so that's one thing that the core has lost, but I am still playing the 3 copies of Quackimira Drago. He's just a really disruptive card, whether you're playing against Burning Abyss, Shaddolls, Teller Knights, whatever you're playing that's light or dark, this card really puts a damper on things for your opponent. 1900's pretty difficult to get over right now. There are cards that can deal with him fairly easily, but it's still a pretty hefty amount to get over. And you just have to be wary when he's on the field that you don't try to do anything with your own lights and darks because he does affect them. I'm playing 2 copies of Flammable Guard. I'm playing 2 Guard because I'm not playing Card of Constance in the deck to actually utilize it. And the only reason that it's really there is to resolve Dragon Shrine. I need 2 normals for 2 Dragon Shrine. And it doesn't really matter where he is whenever you resolve Tefnuit, so 2 copies was perfectly fine. Decent for synchro plays, helps you make level 8 synchros, level 5 synchros, so And I'm playing 2 copies of Mass Dragon. A lot of people have completely quit with Mass Dragon now. I still find a lot of value in him. I think that he's good for searching out your Flammable Guard. He's good for searching out Delta Flyer. And he's also good for searching out these 2 other cards that I have included in the decks that I will show you. So as I said, 1 copy of Delta Flyer. Delta Flyer is probably the best tuner for dragons. I mean, you can go into level 8 Synchro really easily with your Quackheroes on the field or one of your other level 4s. You can go into Leo with the Dragon Rulers. You can go into Star Eater with the Dragon Rulers. You can go into level 7 with your Mass Dragon. So just a really nice tuner, and you have access to them via Mass Dragon's effect. So now I'm also playing, for the end off the monster lineup, I'm playing 1 copy of Mythic Tree, 1 copy of Mythic Water. Now these cards are pretty good because they do have certain synergies within the deck. Mythic Tree lines up very well with Tidal. Mythic Tree works very well with Mythic Water. Both of them are searched via Mass Dragon, so that's pretty nice. And both of them are searched via Banishing the Dragon Ruler. So there's so many ways to get to your 1 copy of each one that you're not worried about playing multiple copies. Now if you're playing Trade-In and a Blue Eyes Engine or anything like that, I would definitely bump this up to 2 because it is the better card. You can bring him out next to Mythic Tree. You can bring him out next to Scrap Dragon and go into a rank 8, which is really nice. But I think playing 1 copy of each is perfectly fine considering you have so many ways to search them. So that is it for the monster lineup. I did not count how many that was, but feel free to go back and count and leave that in the comment section. Alright, I'm playing 2 copies of Dragon Shrine, like I said. 3, I feel like would be cloggy. I don't see the case where you would resolve 3 in this deck. It helps you thin, it helps you get your Dragon Rulers in the graveyard. Playing 2 copies of Guard is sufficient to make sure you can resolve them. And the 1 Foolish Burial, which is just a better copy of Dragon Shrine. Just directly send a D-Ruler to the graveyard. Now for your searchers, I'd play 1 copy of Gold Sark, because Gold Sark does 2 things. Gold Sark gets your Dragon Ruler banished, so you can have access to it in 2 turns. And it lets you search for one of your other dragon cards because you just banished a Dragon Ruler. So all around a great card for this deck. 1 copy of Diamond Core. I'm thinking about cutting Diamond Core at this point, but getting to Drago on turn 1 is really necessary. I feel like especially in the current meta, you have to have some way to slow down your opponent or you're just not going to win. Period. You're going to lose right off the bat. So playing 1 copy of Diamond Core gives you 4 copies essentially of this card in the deck, and it helps you get to him very quickly. Also, you can send this out of your graveyard to protect him, so you don't have to reveal one of your dragon cards if you don't want to. Playing 2 copies of Enemy Controller, it's a nice tech card for the format. Dragons don't have very many tempo cards. That's just a harsh reality that we have to deal with. Dragons lack tempo, so by playing the Tefnuits and playing the Enemy Controllers, I give myself a few new options to get rid of one of your opponent's threats. You can resolve this, tribute your Tefnuit, special summon Flammable Guard, and then go into a synchro using their monster, which is also really nice because it gets rid of one of their big cards, and it gets a boss card on the field for you. Also, it acts like a Swiss Army knife in a way because you can just switch their battle position as well, which you may not use too often, but you might. I'm playing 2 copies of Wingbeat. Wingbeat is just heavy storm on your opponent's field. I mean, you can get rid of one of your Dragon Rulers, you can get rid of your Tefnuit, whatever you need to do. Clear their back row, and then set up an OTK, which is always nice. And the good part about it is, if you use Tefnuit and it comes back to your hand, you're probably going to get to special summon it for free again. So it's not that big of a loss. And obviously the Dragon Rulers, as long as you have fodder in the grave, you can bring them out how many ever times you want. So I'm playing this over MST. I think it's much better. It hits Cleaforts really hard, it hits Necros really hard, it just does a lot more for you. The 2 blowout cards, Burial and Soul Charge. If you resolve either of these cards late game, you probably win the duel. So that's why they're there. Burial lets you use your resources that have already been used, and Soul Charge just lets you establish a monstrous field. And that is all for the spells. For the traps, I'm actually playing sort of a healthy trap lineup. I'm playing the Staples, Compulse, Solemn, Torrential, Bottomless. These cards are good all the time. They hit everything really hard. Bottomless in particular is really good right now. I'm thinking about subbing out Compulse for a copy of Mirror Force just to hit Necros, because Necros One thing they don't want to deal with is mirror force. So if you don't have any other way to deal with them, that's a possibility. Right now I'm playing 2 copies of Wing Wind Blast and 2 copies of Super Transformation. There are no vanities. I didn't have room for it. I would have played vanities if I had space. I also would have played Mirror Force, and I may just take these cards out and play Mirror Force because it hits everything really hard. And like I said, Necros, that's one thing they just don't want to deal with. But for right now, Wing Wind Blast is strong because you can. There are a lot of things in the deck that you don't mind sending to the grave to resolve this. So while you have the opportunity, you may as well play one of the better cards in the game. Okay, so for the extra deck, it's a little mismatched, but mixed matched, I guess, but I like it. Alright, so for the rank 4s, I'm only playing Heartland Draco for free 2000 damage and Queen Dragoon Jin, just so you can use your Red MD-like effect to bring back your dragons and do big damage. You don't go into rank 4s very often at all, maybe 2 per match if you're lucky. So I just don't feel like playing Castel 101, all of that's really necessary. I just play cards that support the theme of the deck for the rank 4s. Much more often you will be using Big Eye, Draco Sack. These cards are probably your staple go-to XYZ cards. Your Dragon Rulers are free, so why not use them? Bringing these guys out is always going to give you some kind of advantage. Definitely, I even consider Big Eye to probably be better than Draco Sack because Big Eye helps you with OTK. So there you go. And I'm playing for the rank 8s, 1 Felgrand and 1 Heliopolis. Don't underestimate using rank 8s in this deck because you can get to your Mythic Tree, Mythic Water really easily, and you can actually make rank 8s really quickly if you if your intention is to make a rank 8 on turn 1, most of the time you can. So just keep that in mind. So I'm playing 2 of them, and those are the best 2 that I can think of. For the Synchros, I'm playing Armades because you have Flammable Guard, which at times you'll get to use in tandem with a level 4 monster. For the level 7s, I'm playing 1 Exploder Dragon Wing, 1 Black Rose. They seem to be the staple level 7s for dragons. Black Rose, obviously, self-explanatory, and then Exploder Dragon Wing is just a really strong themed card that's a decent level 7 synchro to go into. For the level 8s, I wanted to have more variety, so 1 copy of Stardust, 1 copy of Scrap, 1 Crimson Blader, and 1 Hot Red Dragon. These 4 synchros, believe it or not, cover almost all of your wants for the deck. You have protection in Stardust, you have blowing stuff up in Scrap Dragon, you have locking with Crimson Blader if you get the opportunity, and you have Hot Red Dragon, which completely demolishes everything. So I feel like you cover a lot of bases with just those 4. Thinking about maybe putting in Stardust Spark as well. If I do that, I might take out Exploder Dragon Wing, but I like having the option of going into him, so maybe not. I'm also playing 1 copy of Leo, just because he is really difficult to deal with for a lot of the top decks right now. And I'm playing the 1 Star Eater, which is not too difficult to go into, considering you can get your Delta Flyer with Mass Dragon and then special summon a Dragon Ruler. So cards that are really powerful, that do not require that much effort. I just love the Ghost Rare Star Eater. He just looks really cool. But that is it for the deck. That is the main and extra. I do not show side decks on this channel. You have the responsibility of building the side deck based on your own locals, based on where you play, who you play, what deck types you play against. Definitely recommend siding those MST. Maybe siding in Royal Decree, siding out your traps, and then some other spell cards, some draw power, something like that. Could be considered. But just base your deck on what you play against. So in the comment section below, leave some feedback. What do you think about the deck? What does it need? What is it lacking? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all for the support that I've been getting. I've been getting so many new subscribers lately, new comments. I like to answer all of my comments, so if you leave a comment on a video, very good chance I will answer you unless it's something completely ridiculous. So thank you for watching, and that is all for this